So we're gonna wait a little while, maybe a few more minutes, and just try to wait on some more folks maybe to join, or just kind of see where things go tonight. I want to kind of try to help keep people informed of what's been going on in the markets on a weekly basis, and want to keep the information flowing, keep the information going, and hopefully position some folks to take advantage of everything that is going on. So I know a lot of people out there panicking and everything. I know a lot of people out there like losing their minds, and honestly getting so caught up in the negative news and everything. So I want to kind of try to share some info with you all. Give you a few time to get on, a few minutes to get on, and I don't know, just try to help more people position themselves to benefit regardless of what's going on. And position us to really to be able to live the life God has really given us to live. Because a lot of us are going through so many ups and downs and things of that nature in life, and it looks like it's just the world's going crazy, the world's on fire and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, especially for us Christians, God is in control. I know everybody's not a Christian, I get it, but I am, and a lot of my brothers and sisters in Christ are out there, and just trying to navigate through the minutia of all of this, and even my non-Christian friends and people out there that just people out trying to make it in life. I mean, it's not like you have to be Christian to listen to this. I'm not gonna get on that, but I do want to look out for my brothers and sisters in Christ out here, and family, and be able to help us all navigate through some of this stuff. So I'm gonna give us a few more minutes to get on. I'm just gonna share a quick weekly insight that we have here. A lot of me and another crew of folks, we constantly sharing information with each other. So I guess we said, hey, let's just put some information out there for folks, and I don't know, try to help navigate through some of this. And while we're waiting on some more folks to get on, make sure you do us a favor and join the group, and also go to YouTube and subscribe to the ThisWhyWeTrade YouTube channel, because we'll definitely be sharing some more stuff there as well. And also share this with your friends. Share this in other groups. Yeah, let's get this thing going, because there's some people out here winning. And we can just trust God, get the information, take action, and we could be winning too, All right, gonna get started in just a few seconds. Gotta share some stuff with some folks right quick. This will be pretty quick. It's not going to be nothing like super deep. You might want to take some notes as well. Write down some of these stock tips and crypto tips. Also too, inbox me if you want the link to some apps to get started with as well. Yeah, I forgot about that, because there's some good apps out there, some free apps to download. But also go to that ThisWhyWeTrade.com site, and if you have another device that you have that you can pull up right quick, scan through that page and that site, because there's some good downloads on there, some free downloads also about stocks and crypto, and some other downloads too as well with a fee on them and stuff. But it's some good stuff on there to help you out in your investment journey and things of that nature. Just learning how to kind of put some money somewhere that can grow instead of just always working for money. And hey, look, I'm going to tell y'all up front, it's not no get rich quick stuff. Like, we ain't be real with y'all, man. Because so when people think they just going to dump $5 into a stock or a crypto and they're going to be a millionaire tomorrow, nope. That's not how this works. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. That's not quite how this works. Alrighty, hold on one second. Let me share this with some folks before we get started. Okay, let's see here. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave in the comment section. And I always say, the reason this group was created is because a lot of us got tired of the trolls in these other groups of beginners that's trying to ask ask simple questions about things. What stocks to get into, what crypto to get into, where do you get started, how do you get started, and all that type of stuff, the beginning stuff. And people were making fun of these people. I'm like, okay, come on, man. Like, everybody starts somewhere. So, yeah, just leave a comment or leave a question if you have any ideas, or especially if everything's going on and you're wondering how the news is connected to stuff, um, to investments and things of that nature. All right, hold on. Give me a second. Let's see here. Trying to get this going to some other groups right quick. Hold on. Oh, if you don't mind too, share this with some of your friends that you know have been kind of wanting to learn more about stocks and crypto too as well. And believe me, all of this stuff does not take a lot of money. Like I said, you can start with $1, $2, $5, whatever. So $10, $100, whatever, $1. But it's just about really learning first, and just kind of trying to give some weekly insight out there for you guys. Alrighty, let me go to my notes here. Okay, so basically this is for this week, the week of March 9th, 2026. And we'll be trying to do this weekly or maybe bi-weekly. We're not sure yet. We're just kind of discussing some stuff because we're having so many conversations. There's so many more and more people trying to learn how to invest and where to kind of like grow their money, because people are getting burned out on just constantly working and feeling like they're not getting ahead in life. And then, they're getting so caught up in the negative news, and really a lot of that is a ploy just to kind of put, I guess, like I don't know, public awareness or something. Just know that a lot of this negative news is designed to basically like overstimulate your nervous system and keep you so emotionally riled up that you don't even see the opportunities that God has put in your life to take advantage of so you can advance your life. That's the whole design of it. And then the business model is to constantly pump negative news because they know you're going to constantly watch it. Well, maybe not y'all, but a lot of people are going to constantly watch it to quote unquote stay informed. But that causes almost like a subconscious addiction to it because it just riles up your nervous system so much. So it's just constantly going. It causes like this negative outlook on life. Well, what happens is it actually makes them more money because they keep people looking at the news. Then they sell like these commercial slots of that news channel. They can raise the prices on that. And then also it keeps people sick because it almost like traumatizes the person over and over again, and they just look at life and just like they're not going to make it and just down and depressed. Then they start getting on medicines, which makes them more money and things of that nature. So it's a whole little cycle, man. So hopefully this little bit of information kind of help people kind of see a little bit of, I don't know, daylight in the midst of everything. I mean, of course, at the end of the day, you got to go to your word of God. And then surround yourself with good friends that can help pray for you, talk with you, go out and have some fun, watch some movies, go out to eat, and build a good community of people that can pour into you without all this negative news, and realize it's not that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some craziness out here, but it's not as bad every day as they make it out to seem to be. So, once again, hopefully this will help navigate through some of it. And you can re-listen to this over and over again later because I'm going to cover some ground. I'm not going to go super deep just yet, but took some notes for the week and thought I would share it with you all. And because me and the crew, we've been talking a lot about this stuff every week, actually, and not for long in positioning ourselves. So we said, hey, how can we help others position themselves? All right, so here goes. So as of the week of March 9th, 2026, the financial markets are navigating high volatility driven by a deepening Middle East conflict. and a weak February jobs report, and dramatic swings in oil prices. And that has really pretty much set the tone for the whole entire market in stock and crypto for this week. President Donald Trump has heavily influenced market sentiment through statements on foreign policy. While the cryptocurrency market is showing signs of extreme fear despite significant institutional buying. And that's important because let's see how to describe this. So institutional buying is basically meaning like your Black Rocks, your JP Morgans, and things of that nature are starting to get on the bandwagon of crypto now. And they're starting to buy like billions and billions of dollars of it. And although they're pumping it up and buying it up, well, with the sentiment, meaning kind of like the attitude, maybe that'd be a different word maybe to use, but kind of like the attitude or the morale of the market right now is a lot of fear because of the negative news. But I want you guys to remember this, and this is something to please remember. When there's extreme fear and tons of negative news, and the market is pulling back or dropping, well, that's the time for regular people like us to actually buy because everything's cheaper. Because remember that the market has been around for hundreds of years, man. Like, we're just not getting on to it. And no, don't get me wrong, some people that join here, they've been in it for years. I get it. Maybe their granddad turned them on to it. It might be some privileged people, which is, when I say privilege, I'm not being condescending. I'm saying in the context of that's awesome to have somebody generationally be putting you up on game about the stocks and how the market works and things of that nature. But a lot of people in this group are beginners and just now trying to start this thing out. So a lot of us wasn't exposed to this stuff super early. So always remember, when there's extreme fear, tons of negative news, that's the time to actually buy. They're trying to trick everybody into selling their stocks, selling their crypto. And then the big wigs, the JP Morgans, which control $14 trillion in assets, well, they're buying it up as you're selling it because they're thinking long term. I'll give you an example. Let's just say for all of you that have jobs and you have 401ks and things of that nature through your job. Well, those 401ks are attached to the stock market. And let's see how to describe it. Basically, they take a portion of your check and put it into maybe some ETFs or things of that nature, but something that has to do with the market. But they're thinking long term because they're thinking you're going to work there, 10 or 20 years or whatever for retirement. And over 10, 20 years, the market is going to go up. It just has these blips in it to make it seem like that it's not going up and everything's going down, going down. Yeah, it's just going down for this moment, but long term, it's always going up. Just always remember that since the beginning of America. And we're not going to get into the beginning of like England and all that stuff and Chinese stock market, all this stuff. So investing long term is a great way especially for beginners, because it's less volatile per se. You can watch your money grow long term and just let it sit. And once again, it's not get rich quick. But at least you can start doing the stuff yourself instead of relying on jobs. Now, you hear a lot about trading and day trading, but that's a whole nother animal. I'm not going to get into that right now. That's a whole entirely different animal. And that takes a lot of learning, and yeah, that's just a different animal. So we're not going to cover that right now. So always remember, when extreme fear is happening and negative news is happening, that's the time to buy because everything's on sale, because everything is down. And then you just ride the wave back up over the next, 3 to 6 months or whatever. Maybe years, actually. Okay, once again, so as a stock market update, week of March 9th, 2026. This is the whole entire week. These tips are going to be for basically the whole entire week. And we'll try to do another one the next week or two. But the market overview, stocks experienced a manic Monday, which is March 9th, with a sharp easily session drop, followed by a partial recovery after President Trump indicted the conflict with Iran, and it might be winding down. I'm sorry, I said indicted. I mean indicated. But he basically indicated the conflict might be winding down, and there's a possibility that it might be slowing down pretty soon. Basically, it's not going to be like the Afghanistan wars or 20 years and stuff like that. So while everything is like just going wild right now, this is the time, honestly, to kind of start really investing. Listen, block out the noise. I'm telling you, this is the time while everything is down to position yourself to ride the wave when it goes back up. Because as soon as there's a headline of the war is over, the economy's turning around and things of that nature, watch the stock market will like boom again. That's just the nature of it. This has been going on for hundreds of years, y'all. So it says the key drivers, oil prices. Now that affects a lot. Oil prices hit as high as $120 a barrel, causing a 35% weekly spike before retreating on potential G7 strategic reserve releases. The U.S. economy lost 92,000 jobs in February, and the unemployment rate rose to 4.4%. That's pretty significant. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a couple of stocks that you might want to write down and maybe do your own research. I always say do your own research. This is not professional advice. I'm not telling you to go buy it. But I'll just say it's just a suggestion to do your research. Because you're not going to be blaming me when you're kind of going through the ups and downs and things of that nature. That's just, you got to ride this stuff out. This is how the big wigs do. We're trying to learn how to do what they're doing and put our money where they put their money. So number one, company movers will be Oracle. And a ticker symbol, I always remember a ticker symbol is what you type in into the site or the app to look up. When you're trying to look up a company. So Oracle, the ticker symbol is ORCL. And those shares surged over 8% after reporting strong AI-driven earnings and revenue. And Oracle is really getting heavily into AI. If I'm not mistaken, I think they even mentioned a bunch of layoffs because they're actually replacing a lot of, just to be honest, people with AI. Now, of course, a lot of people are not going to say that publicly, but that is what's happening. Second one would be Live Nation. The ticker symbol is LYV. And you can write these down, folks. You can write these down if you want to. And once again, don't forget to go to the ThisWhyWeTrade.com site too as well. But you can write these down and do your research later. And the shares jumped 6% on Live Nation following a potential settlement with the Department of Justice avoiding a forced divestiture of Ticketmaster. So basically, they don't have to sell Ticketmaster because they was facing some monopoly charges and things of that nature. But now they don't have to sell it. Another one is NVIDIA. Now, this one, I'm going to be honest with y'all. This one is so important. This one right here is so important. Because, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to put in words how important NVIDIA is. The ticker symbol is NVDA. This is so important because I'm trying to think how I can explain the gravity of the importance of this one. Now, honestly, it's up there. It's over $100, about $180, give or take. It fluctuates between $150 and $180 right now. But it used to be way more than like around $1,000. Then it did a stock split. But this is the thing. This company makes the chips for all of the, well, I don't say all. Let me say it this way. A lot of the AI-driven companies, computer companies, technology, and everything. And then data centers. So this one right here is so important. I can't even think of an example how important this is. Think of it like, let's just say the whole world was starting to move towards, I know. Do y'all remember when everything was moving more towards cell phones years ago? I mean, decades ago now. when cell phones were really taking off. But it was one particular company, I can't remember the name of it, but they made the chips for cell phones. That company was so important for a long time because they made the chips for the cell phones. So that in itself, if you invested in that company, you made a killing years ago, because that company was one of the most important companies because they made what was necessary in all cell phones. So that's basically the concept of NVIDIA, because they make the chips that's pretty much necessary in the majority of technology that's here and coming in the future. That's so important. NVIDIA is so important. And it's probably going to honestly go back up to $500 or $1,000 a share in the next few years. Like I said, these are long-term investments. All right, moving right along, so don't get too caught up. Him and Hers Health, which is ticker symbol HIMS. And that stock skyrocketed 44% following an agreement with Novo Nordisk, which is ticker symbol NVO, to sell weight loss drugs. You also have some defense stocks, especially with everything going on with the fighting over there and things of that nature. War, skirmish, I don't know what word they want to use it is. Conflict, whatever. But the defense stocks are going to definitely be rising because those companies need to make more weapons and they need to be used to defend ourselves. So the defense stocks that are mentioned are Boeing, which ticker symbol is BA, Honeywell, which ticker symbol is HON, Lockheed Martin, ticker symbol LMT, Northrop Grumman, ticker symbol RTX. They all saw activity after President Trump met with executives of those companies to discuss increased munitions production. That's exactly what we was talking about. Basically, the outlook is the investors are bracing for further volatility as the Federal Reserve weighs stagflation risk. So this is important because Trump met with them too, with the executives of those defense stock companies, to talk about actually increasing weaponry. So they're going to be increasing production, which that translates into, when you invest in those type of companies, basically their stock goes up and your money goes up. Yeah, I'll tell you, that's crazy how this stuff works. I'll tell you. Okay, now we're going to kind of go into some of the crypto tips. Once again, this is not professional advice. Just do your own research and make your own conclusions and decisions. So the crypto market update for the week of March 9th, 2026. Of course, Bitcoin is the big dog. That is always the big dog. And the ticker is BTC. So despite experiencing extreme fear and a potential death cross on technical charts, you have to kind of look that up later. We'll go into charts one day. Bitcoin has shown resilience, hovering around 66,000 to 69,000. Excuse me, that's true. It's been hovering around that price. Institutional activity, strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy, led by Michael Saylor, remember that name, continued to accumulate, buying $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin in early March. See, these people are still so the big money, smart money, the big wigs are still buying up. They're not panicking. That's one thing I've noticed. Once again, everybody else is panicking. But watch what the big wigs do with their money. If they're not panicking, I'm not panicking. And you shouldn't either. If they're buying it, we probably should be buying, possibly. It's not financial advice, though. Some of the crypto companies, you have Coinbase, ticker symbol COIN. It criticized the new IRS tax reporting rules, describing them as overly complex. So they're trying to work out a deal with the IRS and things of that nature, try to work out these new tax laws with the crypto that's coming up. But it's still a good company to kind of think about investing in, because Coinbase pretty much, I think how to describe it in simple form. Excuse me, that's kind of like the institution that kind of, they actually have an app too. And that's where a lot of people trade the majority of their crypto on. It's one of the biggest crypto apps, actually. It might be number one now. But it's kind of one of them things where you just basically invest in the company that all of the crypto goes through. Instead, if you don't want to buy crypto itself, just invest in a company that holds the crypto. Kind of look at it that way. Kraken is another one. It partnered with the NASDAQ to bring tokenized stocks to global markets. Some of the political factors that's mentioned: the Trump administration. The administration has formed a working group on digital asset markets and appointed David Sachs as the AI and crypto czar, with Paul Atkins nominated to head the SEC. And that's something to think about too, because now it's going to become more crypto friendly over the next few years. So things are going to definitely benefit in the crypto space. The conflict impact, though, is Bitcoin is increasingly acting as a risk-on asset linked to oil prices, with a potential ceasefire in the Middle East seen as a major, immediate, and positive catalyst for a price reversal. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier, where, listen, y'all, if they do an announcement soon that the conflict is ending, this stuff is about to blow. And they also have a crypto bill coming out pretty soon, too. I'm going to explain that in another video. Okay. Other cryptos, of course, Ethereum, which is very important. Ticker symbol is ETH. But it has struggled to attract inflows compared to BTC, which is Bitcoin, with some analysis noting a shift in capital towards Bitcoin. So basically, the big wigs kind of go back and forth between Ethereum and Bitcoin, because Ethereum is almost just as important as Bitcoin now. But Ethereum is just now starting to get more institutional money, like the big wigs. So, but it's another one to kind of look into, maybe put your money in or whatever. Like I said, this is not professional advice, but just a couple of things to think about: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Coinbase. Let's see, some of the stocks was the Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Honeywell, Nvidia. I'm gonna keep mentioning that. Nvidia is so important, and Oracle, because all of that's going to be part of the AI drive in the next 20, 30, 50 years. It's very, very important. So I guess that's kind of a quick overview. Because I don't want to go too heavily tonight. Just want to kind of, give y'all some quick tips to go over for the week to kind of think about. Write them down. I'll come back to the video later. Remember these: Oracle, Live Nation, Nvidia, Honeywell, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Coinbase. Those are the ones that's going to be mentioned tonight. So for you guys to look up, go over, maybe invest in if you want to. And if y'all have any tips too, as you go back over this video and share it, leave it in the comment section of some tips you might have. That's a lot going on, but I want y'all to be positioning yourselves to benefit and be able to position yourselves to win regardless of what's going on. And to not panic. Trust God. Don't panic. Help others. And let's go. Let's go win, folks. And go to that website, ThisWhyWeTrade.com. Have some great downloads there. I got some free downloads there too as well. I also have some other downloads that you can actually look up that describes crypto and stocks. Some video courses. It's basically like an online store with a bunch of stuff on it that you can download, a bunch of downloads. We'll be doing some more later on, some more extensive ones that you guys can download too as well. But just trying to get it out there, folks, because it's I know a lot of people are on edge, but this too shall pass, and we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay, folks. So be on the lookout for the next one. Like I said, we'll be trying to do this either weekly or bi-weekly. Go to the YouTube channel too as well and subscribe there. This Why We Trade and at the YouTube. Join the group here and just stay in the loop. Stay in the loop and don't panic. Okay, I'm gonna keep stressing that. Trust God and don't panic. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section or shoot us an inbox. Um, man, it's time, folks. But just remember, don't panic. All of this is designed to make you panic and not take advantage of the opportunities coming, because the whole world is literally shifting. I'm telling y'all, like, there's a whole entire world getting built. While all this negative news is going on, the big wigs are building a whole entirely different new, like, digital world. And if you don't take advantage of it and invest in it, uh, I'm not trying to do no doom and gloom stuff, but it's just that, just to be honest, everything's going to constantly rise in price, and you're not going to be able to. Let me say it this way: it's going to get tougher if you don't take advantage of it now. I'll just say it that way. But if you take advantage of it now, you'll be okay with everything going on, because you'll be actually making money from it. And then you actually be able to help others that don't take advantage of it, because it's still going to be people out here struggling and dealing with things. But God will put you in a position to be able to help, because you was wise with the money that he gave you to multiply it. It's not just about like making a bunch of money to go buy a yacht. Don't get me wrong. If you're making enough to go buy a yacht easily, go buy the yacht if you want it. But the point is, it's really about, doing God's will first, helping out others, taking care of your family, helping out others when you can, even you led to, but also being able to help others navigate through all this and empowering others to navigate. Don't just give them money, but empower them to do it for themselves too as well, and cause a chain reaction. Because sometimes when you just give people stuff, if you got $10 million, you start giving people hundreds of thousands of dollars here and there. First of all, you're gonna be broke, and then secondly, they're not. It's no way that it's guaranteed that they're gonna learn to repeat it themselves. They might go back broke too. So you really got to kind of like impart wisdom into folks. So excuse me. So yeah, that's about it for tonight. Share this with your friends. Keep up the good work. Thank you for your time. Make sure you go to ThisWhyWeTrade.com, download some of the content there, and go to the YouTube channel too as well. Thanks again. Got any questions? Let us know. Peace.